Alright, Bonehunks, this video is all about Shujinko. And in today's video, I am ranking all of his mimics, steals, copycats, whatever you call them, depending on the move, I guess. So yeah, you can see we have our little tier list here. And I'm going to give little explanations onto why I think some are where they're going to be. But first, let me just explain the tiers that I have real quick here for you.
Accept your death.
Alright, so we have 4 tiers here. So first tier are the matchups where he has the best, and this will be matchups with multiple steals. We're talking just about the steals here. Like, there is going to be a little bit of a component of what different characters can do with it, obviously, because some characters can use Shujinko in other ways others can, but I'm mostly going to revolve around the actual steals themselves and how powerful they are as opposed to how the opponent uses them and that kind of a thing. So if you're like, oh, well, this character can do blah, blah, blah with this, you know, you're probably right. I would not doubt that. But this is a generalization of with just focusing as much as I can on the actual steal itself. So that being said, starting with Ashura. Ashura's steals are very, very good, very lots of utility to be had. I do think it is on the low side as far as some of the other steals that he does get. But some things, some changes that they gave him to the Ashura matchup was the full screen low. So I believe she has to use meter on that, and Shujinko doesn't. He just gets it for half a cameo bar. He can just do that, and you have to be ready for it. Also, he, from before, had the launcher, the upwards launcher, which is a little bit easier to combo from than it was before. And then he also has her just regular light beam move that she has as well. So really they added the full screen low, which didn't really need to add. Like there's lots of utility to be had here. But it was a nice change, and I welcome it, and I've definitely found it useful for sure. I just think in general, some of his matchups have better, more useful steals. Next, we got Baraka here. So Baraka is a mid-high steal, and for a couple of reasons here. So first of all, his Blade Spark is actually really, really good at checking his own movement, keeping him around and whatnot. And then they also added his overhead, the overhead move that Shujinko steals now gives dot damage over time, and that kind of a thing, as where it didn't before if it hits them in the air. And then if it hits them on the ground, it's still 0 on block and an overhead, so you get an extra mix there. And now he also has a combo launcher with Baraka. It's unsafe on block, but it has a lot of pushback, so Baraka might have to do some sort of a cameo or maybe a blade charge to try and punish it. I don't even know if that would be fast enough. So yeah, just every steal is very, very good. And you got to remember that you don't have to learn all these multiple matchups with these steals. You're only using these steals in one matchup. So Shujinko is only using it against Baraka. So I've mentioned that in the past. Sometimes when I'm thinking about it and I start to get like overwhelmed, I'm like, oh wait, I only need to see how does this affect Baraka. So yeah, Baraka, definitely a mid-high steal for sure. Ermac, on the other hand, I think this is Shujinko's best steal in the game right now, bar none. This is easily the best. He steals a 2-bar move from Ermac with the low into combo. You can charge Shujinko while he's stunned in this position to get a combo with also his lift. He also has his little forced push that you can actually cancel if you want to. I haven't found any uses for those cancels yet, to be honest. They seem a little bit slow. But yeah, this is easily he steals the the invulnerability where it steals your meter instead of your health. Basically just takes everything Ermac has, like his full toolkit. It's crazy. That's such a hard counterpick for Ermac. So yeah, that's, in my opinion, this is Shujinko's best steal in the game at this point. It's just super duper good. Moving on next to Garrus. Garrus is also up in this upper echelon of characters here. So Garrus, he steals the time stop, which is insane. You know, crazy combos with whatever character you have. He steals the directional sandstorm. You could do close, medium. I think you could do close or far, actually, now that I think about it. So that's a really good steal as well. And then they even gave him a new one, which is kind of Garrus's burst, which is actually a really good wake up and is +3 on block. So you could just throw it out at the end of a string to make your string plus if you want, if you have the resources available, and that's just like a 1-bar cameo move. So I believe it's also a wake up. So if your character doesn't have the greatest wake up, like Quan, you could try and use that. Although cameo wake ups aren't the greatest things, they did a really good job adjusting Shujinkos, where a lot of them are actually pretty viable now. So yeah, there's only a few of the very obviously slow ones that you wouldn't be able to use, but for the most part, they all have some sort of viability. Havoc is a really fun one. I have him in the mid-high. Having the torso spin being +4 on block is actually really crazy. So you can end any string or any normal or whatever with the conquest kick into the torso spin, and you're going to get some pretty nice pushback and +4 on block. So that's super duper nice. And they actually gave him a launcher with the Neoplasm, and he also has, I believe it's called the Seeking Neoplasm. So now he has 3 moves that are all super duper good, and they're not like busted good, but they just add so much utility to fight against Havoc, to give him a hard time with his own moves, which is really funny. I've always said Shujinko is that everything you can do, I can do better type of character. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. Johnny Cage, mid-high. And one of this that changed this for me is Shujinko's Shadow Kick used to be, I believe, -14, and they changed it to -7. And with its fast startup, it makes a great wake up, great for checking Johnny's own movement, and keeping your string safe if you want to do something that's maybe not so hit confirmable. Just throw out Shujinko at the end, make it safe with the Shadow Kick, you're good to go. He still does have the Nut Punch as well if you want to use it for a restand, so giving every character a restand, which again I believe is a 2-bar move with Johnny, and it's just a half a bar cameo steal with Shujinko. So that's super nice. And then also he has the Rising Star, which is the launcher. So now we have a launcher against Johnny Cage, and he also has the Throwing Shades, which is hilarious to see Shujinko throw this move. But it is extremely plus on block and has a lot of pushback. So if you need to get Johnny Cage off of you, trying to do a certain poke into the kick, into the Throwing Shades, catches a lot of Johnny, and the Throwing Shades, if it hits, can start a combo if you have a fast enough normal, which you should, because Quan can combo from it, so you should be able to. So yeah, really good steals against Johnny Cage. Kenshi, I actually have in the mid-low, which sounds crazy, and, you know, everyone likes to have their own opinion on things. He steals Sento, which is insane until you realize that Sento just goes away the first time it's hit. You know, it's not like Kenshi Sento where it sticks around and just kind of recovers. No, if your Sento gets hit at all, then it's game over. And, you know, that's not like the worst case scenario for a lot of characters, like something like Sub-Zero or something that might be able to get a freeze, you know, and then pull Sento out and start doing stuff. You know, obviously there's setups out there, but just the viability of it and like how specific you have to be with things is kind of what keeps it on the lower end. And then his other steals are okay, but they're not great. We do steal like the Rising Karma, I think it is, where the actual launcher, and he has a little run, and then he has the little Kenshi push as well. I wish the run kind of pushed Kenshi back. That would be kind of nice, but maybe a little bit too overpowered. They had some good utility, but nothing too fantastic. The big standout for me is the Sento and just how specific your setups have to be in order to get it. And of course, like Kenshi, you can't use a different cameo, obviously, like Sub-Zero or something, because you're using Shujinko. So though all of those free Sento setups are non-existent. Kitana I have in mid-low. The steals are good. She has the fan toss that combos, and they actually changed it now, so it's easier to combo from it. And then just a straightforward fan toss, and then we can do the 3 enhanced square waves, which adds a little bit of damage. I'm still a little confused on what we're supposed to be doing with this move. It's nice, it's extra damage for sure, just a little bit of extra, not too much more. But yeah, just kind of confused about where, I guess it's a combo ender if you try and catching him in the air. I'm not really sure where it fits in the Kitana matchup, but just good generic steals, a projectile, a launcher, and then the square wave as well. So kind of a mid-low, nothing too exciting happening with Kitana over here. Kung Lao was kind of low before, but now I have him up in mid-high. Some really nice changes. Stealing the Concussion, and it's a 5-frame startup, which I think they intended for that to be able to punish his own armor, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be true 5-frame startup, as I haven't been able to do that. The idea is there, because I totally see why they would have had it as a 5-frame startup when he has safe armor otherwise. Give everybody an option to punish his armor. That's really, really smart. I love it, but it doesn't seem to work as intended. Other than that, really nice. Again, they gave him a launcher in the last update, so he's got the launcher. Up he goes, good to go, and then a couple different variations of hat toss. So just some really, really great utility, some really fast cameo moves. And the concussion as well can be used in really tight scenarios at the end of your combos. If you need a really, really fast move to extend it, and you get just a couple extra hits just at the end as they're kind of falling down from the crumple state. So Kung Lao is a very strong steal for Shujinko. Li Mei is the next one on our list here, and I have her as kind of a low steal for now. That might change. You get a launcher, and the Dragon Kick is really nice as kind of like a wake-up option. And one thing that they changed with him is a lot of his kind of wake-up moves, he goes forward a little bit more now to kind of protect the player. So that was really nice. I don't find there's too much that I use this. However, that being said, I haven't really found any great uses for his lamp yet, because he steals the lamp from Li Mei. I feel like this might be like a big brain move that I just haven't really figured out yet, because that's a full bar steal, and it's kind of like you do block off the sky a little bit for her, which is nice, but she's just got so many good moves just kind of coming straight at you. Mind you, Li Mei as a character just kind of needs a bit of help, a little bit of something, I think. I don't think she's too fantastic in this game, but yeah, this is definitely one of the more underwhelming steals for Shujinko. Again, good utility. He's got just a generic launcher. The Dragon Kick is nice, but that lamp is bothering me. And you can start the lamp and then light the lamp, explode the lamp at the same time. So this feels unexplored to me, but for now it's very underwhelming, and that's kind of why I have it where it's at. So Liu Kang up next. I have this in a mid-low. Some nice changes since the last time I've talked on this. He has the instant air fireballs that all Liu Kang players really struggle to do. Shujinko just does them for free. He got the crispy ones, you know. So he's giving her. He's out here. And then, of course, the low one is nice. And then he also got a new combo steal in the little underground teleport thingy that Liu Kang does, which is nice because that's a lot more consistent for combos. So mid-screen, it's kind of like they gave him a mid-screen launcher, and then in the corner he has the blue dragon flame. So he has a corner combos too. So he has two different launchers, some great project. You know what? I talked myself out of mid-low. I'm putting it in mid-high. I don't even know what I was thinking there. I had a lapse in judgment, perhaps. But yeah, Liu Kang, really nice changes. I was on literal crack for a second there. Mileena is an S tier steal for sure. She's probably on the lower end of the S tier, if I'm being honest, but definitely above the rest. Shujinko just gets super enhanced versions of her moves. Full screen projectile, full screen low psi now as well, and then the ball roll. Super simple, super effective, easily hit confirmable combos. Mind you, that's just Shujinko in a nutshell. If your hit confirms are on point, Shujinko's your guy. So yeah, Mileena, again, probably on the lower side of S, but I think whenever I see Mileena, I'm just like, yes, okay, I like this matchup. I enjoy this matchup, especially if you have mix-ups. Throw in the low psi and you're mixing her with your own low psi. That change in itself. Before I might have had her in the mid-high with like just the straight psi and the ball roll, but no. Adding that low psi makes a world of difference. It's definitely kind of upped her from what she was before. Nitara is a little bit on the lower end as well. I have her. I don't think any of his steals are bad, you know. One thing that he does give every character is the health stealing move that Nitara has. So you can put that buff on anybody, get close to your character, start stealing health from Nitara. That's pretty cool. His launcher steal doesn't seem super useful. Again, I think it's similar to Li Mei, where it's supposed to like keep her out of the air because you're kind of throwing Shujinko upwards, and just like you see her in the air, you can anti-air her really easily with Shujinko, that kind of a thing. I find that the arches which he uses aren't really the greatest for that. But this could be another big brain one that I haven't really worked out yet. And then the spit is good. Really good wake up. Super fast. I believe it's safe on block. But yeah, just nothing really that puts it over some of the other cameos that I have here. So I have her in the low. Omniman I have in mid-high. The clap is a super good ender. You know, you want to really put the cherry on the cake there. Just give them the old clap and send them on their way. And then also having the 3 different stances in Viltrumite stance is extremely strong. So easy hit confirm combos, and you can just use them as utility if you want. It's like, yeah, like you get like projectiles almost, but like Shujinko's and projectiles. It's really good. Mid-high for sure. I would even entertain an S perhaps. Peacemaker though, I have to say is an S. For even the sole reason that Shujinko steals the torpedo, and Shujinko is armored when he does the torpedo. So he'll just blast through whatever. I think I had one scenario once where he blasted through a cameo. No, it was a pistol shot, a cameo, and then still hit Peacemaker. So that armor is really good. He also steals the gravity if he wants to do that. The sonic boom if you want to do that. So different combos depending on where you are on screen. And then he also has the pistol. And just Shujinko coming out wearing that Peacemaker helmet is just the best thing ever. What a great idea. Kudos to whoever decided to put that in the game. I love that a lot. Quanchi I have on the lower side. This was actually cracked and would have been an S tier steal if they had kept the fact that Shujinko steals the purple portal skulls from your character. That was insane. But yeah, he steals the bone cage, the bone dome, and then just a straightforward projectile, and that's really it from Quan Chi. I will say the Bone Dome has some pretty crazy scaling on the combo damage, though. So the damage your character is going to do will be probably more than likely in the 400s against Quan Chi. So that is really nice. Just nothing too shocking or stylish to keep him out of kind of the mid-low kind of area. Raiden's a tough one, but I do have him in mid-high. The Superman is a really good steal for the wake-up. And also just, again, throwing Shujinko around as a projectile. Steals like the big charging projectile. But the big thing that makes this really good, in my opinion, is stealing Raiden's low teleport. Because the input is really easy compared to Raiden's input. And it's -3 on block. So you can take any string that has like an overhead on the end of it. Make it a 50-50 with Shujinko. And even if they guess right, you're safe at -3. So it is definitely one of his best steals, but the overall kit is kind of underwhelming, which is kind of why I have it in the mid-high. That one move is enough to kind of put it in the mid-high for me. That's just anything with a mix-up is just really, really good to change any character strings into a 50-50, especially safe on block, is absolutely crazy. So Rain, again, mid-high. Lots of things to do with Rain. We got the upward steal, water steal. So we have a launcher. That's more of a corner launcher. I would say it's a little bit trickier to combo from. They did make it easier. And then he also steals the portal chain link thing, like the Master of Storms kind of thing. And it goes like 3/4 of the screen. It also doesn't count as a projectile. So if Rain's putting on that Sub-Zero armor and like coming at you like, haha, I'm gonna come get you, that move is like 3/4 screen. It is not a projectile, so that will hit Rain right out of his stupid little armor. I love that so much. It also gives you some cancels with the forward projectile steal. That's new, that he couldn't do before. You can actually get some combos from there. It does cost a bar of meter though for Shujinko to do it. So yeah, and that's your super meter, by the way, not a bar of not just a bar of Shujinko cameo meter. It's a bar of your actual super meter as well to do the cancel. So it seems kind of expensive to me for what you get from it, but I'm sure there are characters that can make big combos out of that. So I'm gonna explore a little bit with Shang Tsung, because I feel like a grounded combo would probably be best for that, and kind of see what kind of damage I can get. Because yeah, it's a little underwhelming at the timing from what I can do with my character. Reiko, oh boy. Okay, I'm not only going to put this in the S tier, I'm actually going to put this as his second best steal that he has. What a glow up. Giving every single character in the game tick throws against Reiko is absolutely busted. And not only that, he also has the throwing stars, he still has the parry, he still has the tackle. Like, man, it just, Fighting Reiko just feels unfair sometimes because, yeah, especially if you're guessing between, like for example, Quan Chi's string, this 2-1-4. So the 2-1 is a tick grab, but he can also do the overhead, the 2-1-4, or the low, the 2-1-3. So then you have a three-way mix-up of, you better duck or get out of the way or guess for your life. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. And then into a full combo from a command grab. That's actually nuts. It's not quite as busted as Ermax, but it is up there. His second best steal for sure. Reptile I have in mid-low. He has 2 launchers now, so he has the force balls, which I kind of use more in kind of like the neutral, kind of control neutral. I think that's how Reptile uses it too. And he also has the dash, which is gives you some easier combos than force balls sometimes can. So two launchers, and then he has the spit, the acid spit, which is -7 safe on block, and then the acid spit projectile, which is slow, but it's there. So yeah, they're okay steals. Couple launchers, nothing more to say here. Just kind of overall good time. Young Scrompion, and here's where I have to kind of put my personal biases aside. This is a mid-high steal for sure. Steals the spear, he steals the spinning spears, he steals the unblockable low attack for some extra combo damage, and then he also steals his teleport, but I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing with that, so there must be some characters that can do that stuff with that I haven't messed around with yet. The reason why I am putting him a little bit lower than I would with Quan Chi is because Quan Chi can punish the spear with standing for spear from anywhere on screen. Full screen, doesn't matter. Scorpion does spear. Scorpion does anything, actually. Standing for spear will just combo into it, as long as he's grounded. So that is such a good tool to have. Like, just a full combo with Punisher from anywhere on screen is just super insane. But, like I said, we're going over more the steals more, not the individual characters. That being said, I still have them in mid-high. Anything where you can stun freely is pretty good, in my opinion. So Shang Tsung I have in mid-low. Really, really utility kind of character. So you get the straightforward 3 projectiles that he does in Young Shang. You get the ground projectiles from Old Shang. And you can have like from full screen close or from close to full screen. Now the scaling on these is not the greatest. Your combos are definitely hit pretty hard by these, but it is nice just utility to have to just cover the screen. But you do want to be careful that you don't get caught by Shang doing kind of the same type of idea. And then you also have the morph into your opponent's cameo for a little while, which just adds more moves to your overall moveset. So it's really good utility in that matchup. A big variance on what cameo your opponent is playing, to be honest. Some pairings might make all of his tool sets absolutely busted, and some might just be like, why would I ever use that? So it just really kind of depends on what they're using. Like Shujinko as a whole, what character are they using, that kind of a thing. So next up is General Shao, and this is one where, to quote my good friend Hater, less is more, S tier steal for sure. We get the low launcher, the full screen launcher that General Shao does. It's plus on block. I believe it's +7 on block if they block it. And we also steal the overhead, which is, I believe, -7 on block. But having a full screen low launcher that's plus on block is actually insane. So yeah, easily hit confirmable. It is so slow, so it's actually really crazy that it combos from the APEP punch or the Conquest kick. So just remember that like 90%, 99% I would say, of his combo launchers will combo it from the APEP punch or the Conquest kick, even if they're slow. So yeah, General Shao, that's just actually crazy. Just 2 moves, that's all he needs. He's going to war. He's literally going to war. Gonna mix you up with and the startups of both are about the same, so I've kind of caught people with, like, even though the animations are a little bit different because they hit around the same frame, it's not exact, but it's around, they'll usually just kind of get mixed up by seeing them reacting to the last one at the last minute kind of a thing, so it's pretty cool. Sindel is a mid-high for sure. Now we have access to the low fireball, which is really, really nice. The Queen's Command, with Shujinko getting all sassy. I love that. That's my favorite. And yeah, then we have the overhead launcher as well. So a little bit of a mix there. No, it's not really a mix, but having an overhead combo launcher just for any character is really, really strong. So, and then the Queen's command is just kind of get your cameo out of here. We don't want them around. You know, put Serena back, stuns her for a little while. And like I said, Shujinko getting all sassy with it is what really makes that one of my favorite steals that he does. Smoke is hard for me. I have him in mid-low, but he would be at the top of mid-low, I think. Like, I'd put him like over here if this is the top. Because you can turn any character invisible, which is insane. It's a short duration, keep in mind, but any character can be invisible. The invisibility can be used as a combo extender as well. So you combo into invisibility, then keep doing whatever quick combo you can do afterwards. So like Shang Tsung gets some insane damage off of that. And then he still has this kind of useless steal in the upward kunai throwing move that I'm not exactly sure. I still have not figured. It's been there since day one, and I still have no idea how I'm supposed to use this. Like as an anti-air, I guess maybe some characters can use it as a combo ender. But another nice thing that he has is now he steals the overhead teleport. So Shujinko will throw a smoke bomb, come down and land on smoke and be +3 on block. So that's really, really handy, and the tracking on it is insane. I have knocked smoke players out of things that they had no business being knocked out of. So yeah, just having the one useless steal is kind of like meh. But is it useless? You know what? I would say maybe put him at the bottom of mid-high, because I'm sure there are characters that I just don't know about that can use that move. And if you're one of those players that plays those characters, please let me know how I'm supposed to use this move, because both of the characters that I've used so far, I haven't really found much of a use for it. Sub-Zero. So this is top 3 steal right here, right behind Reiko and Ermac. So we steal and are able to combo into the Ice Ball. We also steal the Enhanced Ground Freeze, which is a safe on block combo launcher. We also have a Slide, which is not safe on block, but can catch a lot of movement from Sub-Zero. Like just throwing out Sub-Zero's own slide at himself, like all the time, given the tool set that your character already has on top of that. Kind of nutty, kind of busted. And then if you want to just throw out a string and try and do something that's safe on block, he steals the Clone Smash, which I believe is -7, and keeps you safe. So every steal is good. Every steal has a purpose. If you don't want to hit confirm into the Ice Ball, just throw out the Ground Freeze and see if it hits. And yeah, top 3 steal for sure. And rounding out the list lastly is Tanya. Tanya I have as a low steal. The drill is nice. The Umgadi dodge they just gave him is nice. But they don't really serve much. They're just a combo extender. It's nothing crazy. And then the projectile that he steals from her is not really that much improved. It knocks down instead of staggers, I guess, so that's okay, I suppose. But kind of underwhelming as far as the steals go. Like I said, I don't think any of these matchups are particularly like terrible steals for him, but like you can see where some matchups, maybe if your character struggles against like say Ermac or Reiko or something, maybe it's worth learning Shujinko to cover just those matchups, you know? That's what the whole cameo system was for. I'm just that guy that's saying I'm literally named Shujinkydink. Like, how can I not use Shujinko? That would be like blasphemy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to use him everywhere. I'll find a way to make him work. I'm still working out some of the kinks, so let me know what you think of my list, and any Shujinko tech that you have that I can steal from you, and give you credit for, of course, post it down in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
Accept your death.